Welcome to the Two-Man Show, the Two-Man Show, the Two... I'll promise to never do that again. Sorry. We are on episode 2 of The Bottom End. So we'll find out today if some of the fluids that I dropped in there will free up the pistons. So let's get to it. Alright, so like I mentioned at the end of the last episode and kind of in my little intro, I sprayed some penetrating fluid on all 4 of the pistons. This one, the hot mess, I'm still seeing the fluid sitting on top, so I'm just going to ignore that one for now. So I have a feeling that's the fun one I should come back to. But other 4 are dry on top, so that makes me hopeful that we can get some movement. So let's see. Good. 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 And now, let's see. Not good. Yeah, let's try that one again. To be fair, this is not the ideal set of tools for this job, but it is a tool for the job. See that splash? That's a problem. But let's get these other ones out. And being that it's already kind of on the way out, let's see. Can I just push it? Thrust bearing? Oh. I haven't checked. Can I even do it that way? Okay. Since we know, I mean, that's a good sign. I'm literally just pushing it. Alright. Trash. Rods look good. Okay. Should keep them in order. If they've been rebuilt, you might see a number stamped somewhere. Looks like it says 2, but it could be 12 also. I don't know if that's a... And... Is that the front? Okay. Front cover, so 1, 2, that's cylinder number 3. Let's see if they all come out that easy, except for, you know, that hot mess. Oh, went down a little bit. I could, I want to. Ooh, that's a good sign. This must be number 1. Hey, hello. Hello, friend. No. Looks like this motor's never been rebuilt, so that's, I think, a good sign. Because this is all OEM stuff and should be relatively easy to rebuild. Okay, so this was the one that was giving me a hard time. You, that one is definitely not going anywhere. Okay, so try and hammer it again. Now, Probably shouldn't be hammering the rods. I'm sure there's people out there screaming at their televisions right now. What I'm gonna do is use one of the old junk bearings that fell out. So I can hammer on the bearing because the bearing's trash anyways. So hopefully no damage goes beyond that. Really should use something better. Shouldn't need to pound too hard on this one. See? That wasn't too bad. Go ahead, friend. Come on. You can do it. There we go. Gentle force. It's 3 out of 4. Now, what to do about this guy? Our frozen guy. I think what I've learned so far is, at least by hammering the top of the piston, because the pistons are 100% going to get replaced. So that I don't feel bad hammering on. The bottom of the rod, still on the fence on with the rods, so I want to try and preserve them as much as possible and avoid any hammering if I can. So since it sounds like I'm going to need to do some more pounding to break it free, I'm going to flip it over and hammer the top of the piston again. Now if you're wondering why I'm considering reusing cylinder liners, simple. I'm going with a pretty substantial overbore. If I can get these liners out, they can be overbored. So as ugly as they look right now, which it's ugly, but it's not the worst. When you rebore them, it's going to be nice and shiny. The insides, or I should say the outside, the inner part of where the coolant and everything goes, is probably going to be a little bit corrosive and nasty, but that's not really a big deal. All right. I don't have any better ideas. All right, update time. You saw me knock out those 3. Number 4 was not cooperating, but you know what? Fight the power. You might be able to see there, the rings are fully just hammered inside there. They didn't, usually they'll pop out and you can kind of see them, but not in this case. It was frozen in there. And what's the best way to deal with something that's frozen? Heat it up. I used a little bit of heat. I sprayed some more penetrating fluid in there, some PB Blaster. It's what I use for everything else. It almost didn't come out, and I had to get a little bit bigger guns out, so to speak, to get it out. Good news, it's out. The piston is not going to be reused, and that allowed me to cleverly choose where I was going to hammer. I did want to use the rods again, potentially, if I can. So I wanted to be cognizant of that and not destroy them. So that all looks good. Next thing is to get the liners out, but you need some special tools, which I don't have. So for now, that's the end of this one. This part. This will do a little, and then I'll come back for more. Hey everybody, quick little update. I was talking about getting the liners out. I decided without the right tool that I am a fool, so I'm gonna be smart. And Dorian was luckily nice enough to share his machine shop with me. They're several weeks out, so he said the sooner you can get it here, the better, because it's a long waiting list. I know a good shop's gonna take some time, so I ran back in the garage. I threw the crankshaft back into the block because those are the 2 things they're gonna need. Because I gotta have them clean everything up, make sure the bearing surfaces are cleaned, measure so I can know what size bearings to get. And they basically told me get it here before 5, and it's just after 4. Luckily they're close. So packing it in the car, and we'll see what else there is that I can do on this, you know, engine build. Part 2 is probably going to be one that has a long break in the middle, so I can get back to that one at least. So only one distraction at a time. Okay,